All right. Miss Security Boss, my last question to you is, what is the benefit? Oh, and actually, no, we already answered that, but you might have a different answer. So, what do you think the benefit is for men to get married in this season of the family courts that we have with, divorce is happening for, what is it called again? Something differences,
Oh, irreconcilable.
irreconcilable differences. What do you think is a benefit for men to be married?
But when you add all that into it, well, let me just say this. I don't believe in divorce. So I'm still going back to the traditional marriage that I think all men want.
Mm,
I think it is a great benefit to be married. But when you add all these things in today's time, I definitely see what you're saying. Court system is not favored to benefit a man.
mm,
So I agree. But, in this blueprint to being married, love is forever. And that's the duty of the man. And the woman should submit. And that's the duty of the woman. So I don't think of divorce. I think you do it one time, you're in it, and you got to make it work. Now, of course, if it's what do you call it, violent or something of that nature, that doesn't count. You got to get out of that. But just going through
I would say
grown
extreme violence only.
extreme violence, okay, extreme violence. But if you're going through, sometimes people are just not socially ready at the same time when they're entering into these type of relationships. So people grow differently. And I think that is something that a true marriage can withstand. We just have to walk it out with those blueprints on how, with the actual blueprint on how it's supposed to be done. And I think we just bail out too quick. We flake out and, oh, she's not doing what I want her to do. Oh, he's not doing this. He's not doing this. And I think that's what breaks it up. And the
Oh,
fact that you get out
yes.
of it so easily, you know.
Yes. And it's so easy. And people just, I always say this in the security boss that it's the phone, it's the Instagram, it's all of this. Because when you leave a relationship today, it's like, oh, I have so many options just waiting for me out there because it feels that way, right? When you look at, these dating apps and so on, you're like, oh, there's so many options. I don't have to deal with this. Before
Right,
it wasn't like that. It wasn't like you saw all these options,
right.
what to do with it. Thank you, Alston. Welcome, Alston. Thank you for coming in.
Hey
You're
guys, thank
welcome.
you for having me.
Thank you.
You guys are very beautiful, intelligent women. Want to go ahead and get out the way.
Thank you.
Appreciate all of y'all's insight, especially the new addition, Miss Security Boss. I wanted to actually add on to what she was saying because I recently just got out of like a mini relationship with somebody, um, and it was kind of going fast. I had to like end it, and whenever Miss Security Boss was talking about how the guy being treated like a king or whatnot. That's kind of how I felt in this situation, but it was kind of uncomfortable and I had to like, cut it out. And because she approached me and everything, and she was kind of very flirtatious and other things, and things kind of got fast. I had to really like jet out because normally I'm used to the slow, methodical, type of situation when you're really getting down to the basis of who someone is and um, running with that. You know what I mean? Like taking it slow. The art of taking it slow. So I feel like today and now, like today's world, due to social media and just the way things are, unfortunately, people have lost the art of taking it slow. You know.
Well, that's what Miss
So
Security Boss was just speaking
yeah,
about
yeah.
and how the roles have been reversed. What do you have to say about that, Miss Security Boss?
Austin, I think you did an outstanding job. I think you avoided some red flags. And I definitely want you to be more intentional in finding your wife, if that's what
Mhm.
you're looking for.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
taking it slow would be what you do far as your intentions. But just to let you know, once I start dating my husband, we got married
Mhm.
within 6 months
Hmm.
because in a minute you will know if she is the one.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a slow process, then it's a fast process, or it
Yeah.
can be, slower than fast.
Hmm.
But don't be asleep. Pay attention to the red flags because
Yeah.
remember when you're dating, you're building that foundation to the rest of your life because
Yeah.
you're only doing it one time.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I know I want you to feel like a king because you are, but
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
to do that within marriage. You need to earn that. You need to say, okay, I'm doing this as a husband.
Hmm.
And then you start beating yourself on the chest. If
Yeah.
you're doing it prior, you need to be questioning, So why wonder why she did this, you know?
Yeah.
So that is good that you recognized it, because I do think it's a red flag. But be intentional with it. You know, ask yourself, you know, go through that blueprint. My blueprint is God's principles. You know, read the word and see what it says about a man's role in a marriage. He says you gotta love. You gotta read that whole paragraph about what love looks like and what it is, and how it's extended, and find out where you are. And if any part of that is where you're lacking, that's where you're going to have your problem, because your first job is to love your wife.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, of course, you know, she's submitting. She's
Yeah.
totally submitting. So you get to the business of it first, because you're the one, you're driving this car, or, you know, this train. It's you. It's on you. Do it first, and you will be happy that you chose her. Now, it's not going to be easy. There are going to be roadblocks. Y'all going to get into arguments, because again, people socially develop at different times.
Yeah.
But you need to find out if she's has the right intentions, and you do that by, you know, vetting her. You know, is she, how does she like this, or why are you doing this? Ask those questions, you know, that you, whatever it is, you got to put her to the test. You got to be more intentional about it. Can you submit to a woman? Can I be number one in your life? How about that? Can you be considerate of me?
Yeah.
Can you put me first? And when I say that, now that gets deep, because, you know, later on when the kids come, can you put me first?
Yeah.
You got to catch her
That's
off
real.
guard with that, because
That's
women
real.
love their kids.
Yeah.
They love their kids. They be like, no, baby, what? See, that's a red flag. You gotta say, you got to understand that husband comes first, because I'm the provider. I provide for all of you all, not the kid. But if it is the kids, then you got to wait to the appropriate time when she's mature enough to handle a child.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Austin, do you have anything? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, Austin, did you have any other questions?
Yes. Actually, so before we were talking about all of that, I remember you guys were talking about the cheating role, and I don't know. So I had a different opinion on that, because personally, I don't think anybody should cheat. You know, I feel like before it even gets to that like level, there should be some type of established communication. You know what I mean? There
In a
should be.
perfect world, I think all of us are saying
guess.
that you shouldn't cheat. But if
Yeah,
it
yeah.
were to happen, you know, we have to understand that life isn't perfect and it's not ideal. It's not idealistic, but
That's
things
true.
aren't going to happen as they should all the time.
Yeah.
So we were basically saying if it did happen, what would be our response? But you're right. Before cheating ever happens, we should have a process that we go through. What do you guys say? What do you think about it, Rebecca and security boss?
Yeah, I definitely think complacency is the biggest thing that can make a marriage fail. Not having courageous conversations. I like to say courageous conversations, because these are tough conversations to have with your husband or with your wife. But complacency and not working on the marriage, that can kill a marriage. People, I've seen marriages fall apart because they don't talk to each other anymore. They don't communicate with each other. They are roommates living in the same house and just going about their lives, you know. And marriage, you have to work on it. It's a beautiful thing, but it's not easy, you know, and it comes with different seasonal highs and lows. You're going to go through the mountaintops with that person, you're going to go through the valleys with that person. And so if you you know, you have to be intentional in your marriage as well. You have to put in the work, both people there. That's my opinion on the matter.
I agree with both of them. You have to put in the work. And I think you should be so busy at working on being a good husband, that you shouldn't even have thoughts of cheating.
Thank you so much, guys. And Austin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, ladies. Have a beautiful night.
So we're gonna let in Tommy. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, Tommy.
Welcome in.
One thing that I've kind of come to with the social media thing is the inbox. Like, that is like kind of the worst thing that could have happened to us. I explained to people, when we grew up, you kind of had to earn that phone number. and you had to put in work, and then she would have to accept it. Now it's literally as simple as a follow, and I have access to your phone. It's almost no different than a text message. Literally, it comes to the exact same device. So I think what's difficult now is when you were in a marriage, your woman used to be yours and no one had access to her.
Hmm.
Now she could have 5,000 followers on Instagram and literally 4,000 guys have her number.
Hmm.
And everybody knows when you have those options, you act different. You know, when he says something to you, it doesn't hold as much weight because I got 30 dudes in my inboxes telling me this, and this, you know, and then you get the women too, they get to, you know, we call it dirty mac, and they get to talking to these dudes about their problems, and you know, the dudes is, oh, I would never do that. Oh, I would do this. And after a while, it starts to, you know, sit in your brain, and then you start to come up with a mindset of, you know, I don't have to take this. Oh, it's better over here, you know. And I think that's a big challenge that a lot of people have in this generation is you have to deal with a woman that literally can be accessed by so many guys sent by a simple inbox. And I think that's something that I don't think we've ever had to deal with in life because again, it went from a house phone to even when we came to cell phones and beepers, like she had to give that number out. She had to give that access out. And now it's literally, I can go on Instagram, find somebody, follow them, and I have that access to them.
I never thought of it that way, but you're exactly right. That is kind of scary when you think about it because think about how many times in a marriage you may have a fight, you know, it might have a hard disagreement, and the moment you open your phone, oh, all of a sudden there's all these people messaging you. You're right. What do you think about this, guys or ladies? Sorry.
Tommy, are you married?
I'm not.
Okay, so you just given a what if situation?
Well, because so my parents were married, and what's weird about it is that's almost what, not even almost, it's essentially what happened to them. You know,
Oh,
was yeah, and they ended up splitting. They were together for what 30 years,
Oh no.
and you know, and I'm sure there's more to it than that. But
There
if you
always is.
subtract that access, I'm sure you know it would have limited you know the damage.
well, the reason why I'm asking it and I said that is because I can see how a marriage could get off track with that. And I'm going to just tell you, um, I'm older than you, of course, but I have never in my life had a social media page.
Mhm,
I've never had a desire to be on social media.
mhm,
Even what I do now, my husband governs it.
mhm,
I don't, I'm here with you, but I don't indulge in it. So I'm saying this because I think a woman should be more so into her husband, into her marriage and family, more so than social media. So if that's a conversation that needs to be had, I just think we need to sit down and say, listen, this is really bothering me. I don't think this is taking our marriage to in the right direction. You allowing too many voices into our relationship because that's what it is. These are different voices. These are different. This is different energy. Even
Mm-hmm.
when you're on social media and people are talking about, they're putting up these different scenarios. What would you do if your man did this? And then all this
mhm,
speaking comes. Women are reading this and they're bringing that energy into the relationships. So you have to cut it off. You have to just say, listen, I want to be with you and I want our marriage to be successful. We got to stop this. You're bringing in a different energy. You have to take control as a leader, as a man, and take the whole relationship into a different direction. And if
mhm,
it means no social media, then you can live. A grown woman should, with kids at least, with kids or without, should be able to live without social media. Even if she's got to start some little business, get
mhm,
into a fitness class, do some yoga, learn how to cook more meals
Get
or
a
whatever.
hobby.
So many hobbies. It's something that we
mhm.
can do that we don't have to be on social media.